What's up, Kansas City? We are here with Craig Smith. He used to be my co-host. He kind of disappeared on me.
I ain't disappear. I called.
He called.
Look, I ain't coming in ever. Nah.
So, we just want to give a little update of what's been going on with Craig. You had a few movie placements here lately.
I had one movie placement. I had a credit in
I
a
think you
couple.
had like a few of them.
I had a credit in two movies last year. Well, no, I think earlier this year and then last year. So one was The Boss, that Melissa McCarthy movie, and then Bad Moms. I got credits in, and then my actual outcoming as a musician for film and not only TV was in the movie Goat that just came out on iTunes and Amazon. I get publishing if you watch iTunes, Amazon, and all that. Is called Goat, starring Nick Jonas and James Franco.
Okay. I know the last time we interviewed on What's Up Kansas City, go back and search, we did not talk about your licensing experiences and how you got into doing that.
Mainly just a bunch of weed talk.
So tell everybody, how does one do that as an artist?
How does one do
artist?
that?
Yes.
The first thing, for licensing in particular, there's really two ways to make money these days in music. The first is licensing. The second is touring. And I got fortunate enough to meet a gentleman when I was in high school who went on to move to LA, and he started working for this company out in Los Angeles called Math Club. And I worked with them for placements, but it started way back in those days of being, trained or learning my craft, because I have to crank out a song a day, and that includes the instrumentals and the vocals, and I have to record.
So is that that's something you did? That's something you put on yourself, that you do a song a day?
Yeah, I have to. I mean, this is how I make a living, and it starts by knowing how to work the software, how to have an ear for the music, how to mix it for the intended audience. Because a lot of the songs that I make for licensing aren't songs they're not mixed for radio, or they're not written for radio even. There are things to take into consideration, but it all starts with knowing your craft and being confident in what you do.
Wow. So what's the different sounds that you would think of for
Man,
different movies?
listen,
Because I know each movie has a different plot and theme. So how do they?
Well, we rarely get a brief.
Yeah, right.
So right now I'm probably sitting on 100, 150 songs recorded and everything, and basically, my situation, I was fortunate enough to just stockpile music and people come in and pick. However, when you're so that runs the gamut. It's some conscious music, some old school hip hop, some of it is new school trash, Lil Yachty sounding music. Yes, I said trash.
So
okay. So it kind of runs the gamut, and I have different pseudonyms that I go by. And locally even, and you interviewed Grant and Steven from Unlabeled,
Yeah.
and that's my home. So with them, we're trying to start that same that same perpetual motion as far as getting sync placements and things like that for film and TV. So I started producing for the members on that roster, the artists on that roster, so that we can get nice quality in-house.
So you're kind of coaching them on how to
that and providing the production for it. So that's one way, is just having quality music with few cuss words as possible, and with original music.
Yes, definitely dealing with the radio show. It's okay, make sure it's edited, because, and that's crucial. I had somebody come in and say something about, I want to get some music played on your show, and they were doing good until it started with the B word and then it was the F word. I'm like, no.
Well, and then that's because of where we are as a culture. As a culture, we set our own rules. This is the Wild West with the internet. You can put up any song, any video, as long as it's not too graphic and it's nudity. You can post anything you want. So it says a lot about just the people. I won't say the ends. The people that are that are creating the music. But yeah, it's a really interesting field to be in. It's a really interesting landscape right now, especially with the internet, and as you know, with an internet
the freedom
show.
of internet.
But many people don't, and this is kind of diverting, but it has something to do with it, I promise.
Okay.
So many people just don't know who they are. They don't know.
Okay.
They know what their desires are. prime example. When I was a little kid, I wanted to be a firefighter. I might have told you the story before. I wanted to be a firefighter.
Actually, you didn't.
I wanted to be a police officer. I wanted to be a paleontologist. At 5, I wanted to be a paleontologist. I wanted to be an architect. I wanted to be all of these things, and I got older, and like I think I watched Cops or something. Like I don't want to do any of that. It's like I want to be an actor.
I'm like, how did you end up with a musician?
Well, listen, like I realized I want to be an actor. Like I want to act like I'm doing these cool things. But like even then, I would still love to be an actor. But I know I can't be a cop.
So when are you gonna get your acting break? When are you gonna break into that?
We'll see. It just depends on. It just depends on things. Right now, I'm trying to conquer music and conquer Kansas City in the process. But you know, knowing that that's where I need to start because I know who I am. I know what I want to do, and so many people.
And that's half the battle, knowing who you are.
No, that's 80% of the battle.
Oh, it's 80%.
80% of the battle is knowing who you are. 10% of the battle is not being an asshole.
Oh, okay.
When you know who
a lot of people
I mean, when you know who you are, like there are certain times you can be rude and be very headstrong, but you have to know that anything in this world, like every dollar I've ever made has come by referral. Every single cent I've ever made has come by referral. People always, I don't need more friends. I need more money. So you know the importance
of having a good name.
Yeah, a good name, but more importantly, a good network. You might never know my name, but I have enough friends that care about me enough because I give to them. You know, like I've given a lot to people without asking for anything in return, so that when I need to be placed somewhere, you know, he called me and asked me if I wanted to begin making music for licensing because he knows that I've never put myself in a position where I'm taking from him. You know, I'm giving to him. So he called me and asked me if I would like to be a part of it because he knows my character.
Right.
You know, he knows that in relational aspects, you know, there are people who don't like me because of times where I did take, and that was the tone of the relationship. But that's 10% of the battle. 80% knowing who you are. 10% of the battle is working well with others, or at least not, you know, polluting others. And the other 10% is just sheer Jesus. It's all it is. I'm totally honest. It's all God. Like the other 10% is all God, and by that 10% being there, 100% of it is God, because by the grace of God, I could have been anything. But you know, He blessed me to be a talented, not that much of an asshole at 28.
Well, amen. So, just curious, if you want to share, how much is a placement, just one placement in a major movie? Like, how much money do you get for that? Yes.
You can't really say. Like, a company like Fox might pay out sync fees for a show like Empire that'll be in the thousands. Okay. And this is just a little insight. You can, you as an audience can dive deeper into it if you're interested. But so for instance, they wanted
other musicians, they might want to.
Yeah, exactly.
Know,
so for instance, Marvel and Disney, they wanted to get Uptown Funk for the Avengers movie, and they quoted them $500,000 just to put the song in the movie. You know, so they went another route and went the licensing, and you know, I don't know if it was our company or somebody else took the opportunity to replace that song in the movie, but it can be that high. It can be as low as MTV doesn't pay out very much at all. But there are two things that happen when you get something synced onto a television show. There are sync fees, and then there are royalties. So your royalties, and this is where people know the word and know the term but don't really have it down. Your royalties are what you get paid for published music that you had something to do with, and you get a percentage of that published work unless you own, you know, everything. In most cases you don't own it all. There's somebody else that wrote on it or you know, mix and mastered it or something else, or the label gets a cut. And so you get paid quarterly with my publishing, BMI. They collect, and this is all boring technical stuff, but they collect all the information for about a year.
I was also curious because you got that dollar there, so
you know what I'm saying? I found it. You know,
trying to get that information about that dollar.
No, but they collect all the information for a year, and then they pay you from like quarterly. And so I just got a direct deposit for quarterly earnings for for the year before last, and a whole bunch of other stuff. But yeah, so it can be pretty good money, but relationships are key in that regard, because you have to be consistently good, and you have to be consistently, you know, an asset. You know, you can't just have 2 good songs and think that you'll have placements on Empire and things like that. So, yeah.
So continue to do a song every day like you, basically.
I don't say that. I figure out what you want to do. You know, like a lot of people say I want to lose weight, and you really want to do is sit down and eat Cheetos and watch Netflix. Like, be honest with yourself. You know, like what a lot of people like. I want to be a famous musician, but what you really want to do is talk about being a famous musician. And that, you know what? If you're okay with that, then do that.
Right.
But if you're complaining about where you are in your life and you know that you have a certain desire, start doing it. You can literally start doing whatever you want to do right now.
No, that's what's up. So, when are we gonna get a CD, a full CD from you? Like,
you probably won't get a full album from me.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Like, when do we have an album?
I make short projects
10 to 12 songs of your work.
I make short projects for a reason. I do,
okay.
And this is something interesting since I make so much music and have since I was a teenager. I have probably 2.5 full albums. They're probably about 14 songs each that nobody's ever heard. But I really just like to work on short projects because it keeps people's attention. And then because for me,
also a marketing genius.
For me as my own patron of my music, like once I get to the end of it, I'm satisfied because I know I took people through this journey of 6 songs, and I didn't just fill the 6 songs with 6 other songs that were just filler songs to say I had an album.
That's good.
So I really like doing those. The next one I've been working on, and you get this exclusive.
Okay.
You get this exclusive. The next one that I've been working on is called Name of the King. And it is going to be...
Why that title?
Well, originally it was going to be Godfather, but I didn't like that and I thought it was corny. But Name of the King, because in 2015, I kind of stepped back into music as an artist and wanted to focus on it. And I wanted to really hone my skill. And so in 2015, I said, 2015, I'm a killer. Like, when it comes to music, when it comes to being a lyricist or whatever, I'm like insane, like at it and good. And so that's what that was about. So 2016 has been about placing myself in a position that I can actually make my name known for that skill. Okay. And 2017, I'm building an army.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So you have your own record label, is what you're saying?
No, not that. Just anybody who's sick of living how they don't forget, but like aside from police brutality and everything else that we have to worry about, you are still a slave to.
Busy man.
You are still a slave to your own mentality or whatever the notions of your parents were or their parents before them. If you live a life that you don't like on purpose, you live a life that you don't like. Like I was talking to somebody and I was like, you can get out and start a business, and they're like, no, I have to have a job so I can pay my bills because that's how life works. And I wanted to say, you are so wrong. But there are many people feeling like that, and I feel like there's an awakening going on. And so that's what this army is about.
Stay
breaking.
Woke.
Stay woke. Sure. Stay woke. Stay woke, but ultimately stay woke altogether. Don't go to sleep on who you were meant to be and what your call is, because that's how people die of stress.
Okay. So you're about to perform at Harmony on the Vine.
Yep. I'm about to shut it down.
So what other performances are we about to see from you?
I'll be in Wichita next Saturday at Steel Bar, and I don't know if Steel Bar can handle it, but I'm bringing it, and I will keep you abreast of the shows afterward. But I've been on this behind the scenes campaign all year, and now I'm just stepping out into the light. So more to come. CraigSmith.xyz.
Yeah, I was about to say, give your contact information again for everybody.
CraigSmith.xyz. If you have any questions, or if you're going through anything and just need somebody to talk to, or if you need, I can't give you advice, but I can tell you what I would do, email me. I am CraigSmith@gmail, or be my friend on Facebook. Anything that you want to do. You want to be a part of this army of people who have taken life by the fucking horns, then become a part by going to...
Are you still doing the Freestyle Friday? Sorry to cut you off.
No, I gave Freestyle Fridays a break. The next season
so I
of
used
that
to
is
look
coming.
forward to those. I would watch them.
Yeah, the next season of that is coming, and that'll be on Facebook.com/I am Craig Smith, like me, like that's the Craig Smith.
All right, so you guys heard everything first because he gave some exclusives and some informative information about licensing. So if you're a musician, make sure you possibly can get with him. Maybe he'll help you out.
And if you're a rapper and you think you want to do that, think really hard about it. Think long and hard. I give up a lot to be who I am.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you heard him say it first. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Serenity, reminding you to spit your piece, and make sure you check out whatsupkansascity.net.